Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to She Roams Free. Today I want to talk about something that doesn't always get shared, the mental health side of starting all over in another country. A lot of people see the pictures, the food, the beaches, the beautiful scenery, and yes, all of that is part of the journey when you're moving to another country. But what you don't see is behind the scenes, the frustration, the stress, and the moments where you may ask yourself, did I make the right decision? So today I want to share some of those behind the scene experiences, the good, the bad, the real, because starting over abroad can be one of the most rewarding things you ever do, but it can also be it can also challenge you in ways you never expected. Stay tuned, guys. The mental health shift of starting over. Starting over does something to your mental health. It forces you to strip away a lot of what you thought you knew about stability. Back home, you have your routines. I have my routines, right? You know where to shop, you know how to go and get your bills paid, you know how to solve problems when they come up. But once you have moved to another country, even temporarily, you start from scratch. And that can be exciting, but it can also be exhausting. Every little thing takes more mental energy than it did before, from figuring out transportation to learning the unspoken rules to simply adjusting to a new time zone. It all adds up, especially the time zone. 12-hour difference, guys. 12-hour difference from Thailand compared to Texas. And what's interesting is most of us don't really talk about this. A lot of us that are on YouTube, nothing against our content creators, but a lot of people show you all of the positive and wonderful sides. They don't necessarily show everything. And it is not my intention to be negative today. I just want to be real and give you guys, just from my experience, the ups and the downs. Not everything is a bad experience, but it's just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect if you decide to live this type of lifestyle. So, we share a lot of our highlights. As far as content creators, we share like maybe the new restaurants we're going to, amazing sunsets and cool culture experiences. But stress, the doubts, the delays, we often keep tucked away. Because sometimes it feels like people back home won't understand, you know, or we don't want to seem like we're complaining, right? Hidden frustrations. So back home, I'm still managing some businesses. Not everyone are managing businesses from overseas, but we are. Because that's one way we're able to financially take care of ourselves, so that we can continue to live and travel. We recently hit a few delays, and those delays are stressful no matter where you are, but when you're in another country, it feels amplified. You're not in the same time zone. You can't just pick up the phone and fix everything the way you used to. That adds on another layer of stress and frustration. Then there are the little things. At one of the hotels we stayed in, we ran into a Wi-Fi issue in our unit for a while. And normally, maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal, but when you're relying on that connection to get work done and run your business and, you know, it can really test your patience. So thankfully, the property gave us access to the executive lounge. It was very nice of them so that my spouse and I could work. But still, those hiccups adds up to your mental health load. And here's another one. When it comes to laundry, a lot of people don't talk about this. So when we're in an Airbnb at the moment, so with most Airbnbs, they come with a washing machine. They don't necessarily include a dryer. For us, that meant going back to old school, hanging up clothes. Hanging up clothes on the balcony so that they can dry. Honestly, it reminded me of growing up in a small town where my mom had us washing clothes and then hanging them outside in the backyard. So at first, I didn't mind at all. I was actually kind of excited about relearning that process and how to do that. But in reality, just in the beginning, the first time when I tried drying the clothes on the balcony, they came back with a smell the first time because I guess the sun just didn't hit them right that first time. So I was a little frustrated, but thankfully I was able to get a great tip from my Grounded Life community. They recommend using fabric softener or fabric Febreze to spray the clothes right after you wash them. So I end up doing that, and that helped out tremendously. Oh, another example, the socks. That was another story. No matter what I did, they still came out smelling after drying. So my solution was I became very creative with clothes hangers. I started wrapping the socks around a clothes hanger so that I could spread them out. That little helped a lot because it helped squeeze out more of the moisture, and they finally dry very quickly without smell. So that was a little trick there for in case you're trying to wash socks. Just keep in mind, we washed them a couple of times and set them out on the balcony, and they were still smelling no matter what we did. So that's why I tried that method of the hanger and just wrap the socks around the hanger so they stretch, and that causes, pretty much for them to dry quickly and get that extra water and moisture from them. So yeah, it just those little things that make you think twice that you don't technically think about back home. So suddenly those things can feel like big challenges abroad, right? And while they seem very small, they can add up to your stress if you're not prepared for them. The picture perfect illusion. That's the point. Everything you see isn't always picture perfect, guys. Social media has a way, and I spoke about this earlier. Social media has a way of making life abroad seem like it's just endless vacation. But the truth is, it's life, and there are good days, there are hard days, and just like anywhere else. The difference is when you're abroad, those hard days can feel heavier because you don't have the same support that you do back home. You don't want to upload all of your frustrations on your friends and your family because maybe they won't fully understand or they won't fully get it. And you also don't want to sound ungrateful because yes, you are grateful for this opportunity. But gratitude doesn't cancel out the stress, and that's okay. The future unknowns, guys. For example, we haven't even gotten to the visa process yet. Besides, we do have our tourist visas. And that's because we are slow traveling. We're staying in places short term without locking ourselves into any place long term. But we know at some point we need to figure out where we want to be as far as which country, where we want to settle down at. And that thought, it is at the back of our minds. It is something that we do have to decide at some point. When you're abroad, you realize that planning isn't always straightforward. Things that felt simple back home requires research, requires patience and flexibility. And let me tell you, I am working on patience because I am one of those individual part of the generation of want everything now. And I'm used to moving very quickly with everything. I did at work. I did at my personal life. I even ate fast. So being here in Thailand is definitely teaching me patience and taking my time. And I love the fact that everyone moves at a slower pace. I'm just trying to get used to that. And to be honest with you, it hasn't been easy, especially when it comes to, like I said, handling business, handling personal things back at home. And you guys may experience that if you decide to slow travel or move to another country. There are going to be some things that you probably still need to manage or even close out once you're away from home. So what keeps me going? So with all that being said, what does starting over actually do for your mental health? It stretches you. It teaches you patience. It shows you how much resilience you really have. You learn to handle stress differently. You learn to let go of perfection. Whew, I'm still learning that one. You learn that delays, frustrations, and inconveniences, whether it's the Wi-Fi issues, business delays, or even smelly socks, are just part of the story. And you laugh about it later, as I'm doing now. And even though it's not easy, there's something powerful about knowing that you can navigate life in a new environment, that you can build again from scratch, that you're capable of starting over, and it's not just surviving, but eventually thriving. So if you're watching this and thinking about starting over in another country, know this. It's not going to be all sunshine and pretty pictures. I mean, it is quite beautiful. There will be delays, there will be frustration, and there will be moments you want to scream. But on the other side of that, there's growth, there's freedom, and there's a deeper sense of who you are. Starting over abroad changes your mental health, not by making life easier, but by showing you how strong you really are. Thanks for listening, guys. Until next time, take care of each other, love one another, peace.